welcome to Geisman Gymnasium here in River Forest for the Division Street rivalry. Concordia University Chicago hosting Dominican University. The Stars coming from right down Division Street to take on CUC in a NAC conference matchup. And both these teams coming from opposite sides of the story right now. The Cougars, a rough month of January has continued. They've still only won 2 games this month, and they're coming off of a 2-loss weekend at CIT up in Ann Arbor, most recently of those, a 69-64 loss to Concordia, Wisconsin in a non-conference matchup. And there were some big performances from that game, as usual. Cougars, Jacob Collicott led the team once again with 17 points and 17 rebounds, a new career high. But he wasn't the only big performance from that game.
Yeah, so want to focus a little bit on Aaron Brown, somebody who has been pretty consistent for the Cougars this month in the span of January. Out of the 8 games this month, he has scored double-digit points in 5 of those games. Has been able to come off the bench and been somebody who's brought a lot of physicality, Jonathan. Able to get rebounds, be able to just score whenever, especially in limited minutes. And I think that's somebody we need to watch tonight and be in for a big performance.
Absolutely, and that physicality that he brings to the game is huge for this team, a team that kind of against most teams is outmatched when it comes to size. Not tonight though, and that's something we'll touch on later, but for the Stars, like we mentioned, opposite end of the story for Dominican. They're 3-7 in conference. It's been so far a disappointing season, but lately they have been on fire. A 3-game win streak, all 3 of those conference wins coming consecutively, and they're looking to make it 4 in a row tonight east in River Forest. Going up against the Cougars team that's been struggling this month, and through that win streak, there have been a lot of players on this Dominican team that have excelled. Amongst those, Cameron Scott. Scott, most recently, a 25-point performance in a win over Marian University. Perfect 8 for 8 from the field, but what's most dangerous about this Dominican team right now is he's not the only player playing well.
Yeah, he is a forward, but we want to focus a little bit on Taylor Terrell. The 6'1" guard is somebody who is dynamic. He can absolutely shoot the lights out of the basketball, almost 40% from the 3-point line, 50% just from the field goal. Did not have his best game in terms of points, only 9 points, but also rebounded well. Had six rebounds last game, 4 assists last game, was still getting involved in the offense. And he's going to be somebody who's probably going to be looking to get buckets tonight. He's going to be very hungry, so somebody that the Cougars are going to definitely have to contain.
Absolutely, and the Cougars look to contain him in what is an important matchup. Both of these teams trying to stay alive in the fight for those final playoff chances, a chance at the postseason in the NAC. And Alan, as we get ready to go here in Geisman, what do you think the Cougars have to do to get it done to stay alive in that chase?
Well, as you mentioned, the size matchup, right? We're going to have to rebound tonight, especially rebound. We do rebound very well, but we also give up a lot of rebounds as well, especially second chance, third chance points. These things that they're going to have to limit tonight if they want to win this game. You have to be in position in the basketball as much as possible. Also, being able to control the turnovers, just being able to slow down a little bit. Sometimes the scoop routine can go a little quick, a little fast, and it can just lead to just quick possessions that don't amount to anything. So, to be able to slow down, take care of the basketball, rebound, be physical, should lead to a much better performance tonight.
Absolutely, and for me, I'm going to spin that into what really at the end of the day determines whether an offense succeeds or doesn't, and it's the shooting. And that's something the Cougars need to focus on tonight, is shooting consistently. They've struggled throughout this month to be consistent with their shooting. They've had long stretches, long droughts that have allowed the opposing team to catch up. That happened this last weekend against Concordia, Wisconsin. The shooting splits took a major dip in the second half, highlighted by shooting under 10% from 3. So shooting more consistently from the field and from 3 is going to be key for this Cougars team tonight. Before we get going, a quick look at the history between these 2 teams. Concordia, Chicago, 21 wins, Dominican 12 in history between these 2 teams since the Division Street rivalry started in 2007. And the Cougars on a 4-game win streak, including the most recent win last year in February. CUC, they'll look to make it 5 wins in a row over Dominican. The Stars, they'll look to get back in control of that rivalry and stay hot with a 4th win in a row here tonight in Geisman. That's coming up in just a moment on the Cougar Sports Network. I'm Jonathan Shearer here with Alan Mateo, and we'll be back with you live in just a couple of minutes for the start of tonight's matchup between the Cougars and the Stars. Cougar Nation, and a welcome to Geisman Gymnasium. We're on the east side of River Forest tonight for the Division Street rivalry. The Dominican University Stars coming to Concordia University, Chicago, right down the street to take on the Cougars. The Stars coming off of a 3-game win streak. The Cougars coming off of a 2-loss weekend in Ann Arbor. And as these two teams get ready for tip-off, we'll run through those starters really quickly. For the Stars, number 2, Daniel Nedig, number 10, Lucas Underwood, number 14, Dominic Crepia, number 25, Braden Murphy, and number 40, Dean O'Brien. On the Cougars end, it's number 0, Kenton Pryor, number 3, Talis Lowry, number 11, Darian Williams, number 14, Jacob Collicott, and number 33, Sean Beckman. It's Jacob Collicott going up against Braden Murphy for the tip-off, and tonight's a rare matchup for Collicott. He's not really outsized tonight as he wins that tip. It'll be Talis Lowry taking point tonight for the Cougars to start. Williams swinging left to Pryor. Pryor trying to get that into Collicott. It's slapped back out. Pryor driving in, kicking out to Beckman. Beckman thought about 3, now he'll just send it back out to Lowry. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Lowry moving in, working baseline, out to Pryor. Corner jumper. No good. That's rebounded by Murphy.
Not a bad look there from Pryor. Just a bad shot or just a missed shot there. So
exactly. That's something we've seen from the Cougars. They've been good at creating those shots, but hitting them consistently has been a struggle.
Yeah, as you mentioned in the pregame show, Jonathan, just struggling to shoot the basketball consistently, especially from the three-point line. Something that they'll have to look to, improve tonight. And that's a good start right there.
And O'Neal, he's going to lose that dribble, stolen by Lowry. And the Cougars able to work it up. Collicott's going to drive straight in, throw up a layup, no good. Rebounded by Pryor. Beckman, now he'll drive in, kick out to Lowry. Lowry in the corner. He'll work in, and that's going to be a steal for Underwood. Pushing the pace is Dominican. Underwood working in, layup, and up and in. And the Stars strike first. They lead 2-0.
Got to take care of the basketball there. Got to take care of it.
That's something you talked about in the pregame, Alan, that this ball security, that's big for the Cougars. They get a lot of turnovers. They turn the ball over a lot as well as Sean Beckman is left wide open on the perimeter, and he makes Dominican pay. Cougars lead 3-2.
Yeah, bouncing off of that, being able to take care of the basketball is one of the keys. And, it allows for the offense to be set, allows just for a pace of the game to just be more in control. And that's a good bucket there. But, to be able to control the pace of the game, take care of the basketball, just gives you more freedom of mind and just allows for just more calm game, and you're not always on your heels.
Exactly, and calm games aren't usually something the Cougars are a part of. Now Talis Lowry driving in, taking a step, puts up a floater, no good. Cougars not doing well from the short range so far tonight, as there's a 3 put up and long. That shot from Underwood nowhere close. And Collicott's going to try to push the pace, and he'll draw a foul. First foul of the night on either team will be tagged on Underwood. So rough sequence for Lucas Underwood right there.
Yeah, probably didn't get a good feel for the basketball there. Probably slipped off the fingers a little bit.
Air ball into a foul, so the Cougars will get a reset of possession. Pryor looking to get that into Collicott, and he'll get tagged with a travel. And Pryor, he started the last few games for the Cougars, but it hasn't translated into too many minutes for Pryor. We'll see how long Coach Searles leaves him in the game tonight. Underwood trying to get that down. He'll get it to Dean O'Brien. O'Brien back to Underwood. That's that to Nedig. Over to Crepia. Crepia gets that into Murphy. Dominican slowly working in. Murphy looking to post up, and he'll get tagged with a charge.
Yeah, it looked like he got hooked a little bit going around the shoulder.
It was not the most clear charge you'll ever see, but Cougars won't complain about the offensive foul. CUC will take possession back as they trail by 1, 3 minutes in. Collicott will swing that to Lowry, who swings that over to Williams. Collicott in the baseline, working baseline, trying to get that up, and that's going to be blocked by Crepia.
Yeah, good position in there and just able to get a good swat on that.
And Murphy through contact, up and in. Lowry into Beckman. Beckman double coverage, shot up and fouled. So that'll send Sean Beckman to the free throw line.
Yeah, that's one of the things I really just want to see more out of the Cougars. How are you going to involve more guys outside of Jacob Collicott? You know, being able to have versatile offensive players who are able to score the ball outside of him, be able to take the pressure a little bit off from Jacob. I think it will allow for a pretty good success rate and just will help the Cougars out a lot, just be able to have some offensive consistency.
And Beckman's first free throw is good. 4th point for the Cougars, all of them coming from Beckman. I mean, we've seen that a bit tonight already. Dominican, the strategy seems to be double team Collicott anytime he gets the ball, and it's working. 0 for 2 from the field. He's had to put up tough shots. And so far, Sean Beckman's the only one from the Cougars able to make the Stars pay. 5 points on the night for Beckman. The Cougars trail by 1 as into the game comes Aaron Brown, who has been that 6th man, and he's been such a critical part of this Cougars offense.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what he does tonight, and that's a good pressure there.
Underwood able to get that pass off now. Here's a shot up from 3. No good for Nenig. That's out of bounds off of the Cougars. So the Stars will retain possession off of the loose ball rebound. O'Brien will head down to inbound. He's looking for Underwood. Tight window. Underwood's able to get it. That's a long 3.
Wow, surprised he shot that.
Almost a logo 3 from Dominic Crapia, and it goes off the rim, rebounded by the Cougars. And Collicott driving in. He loses the ball. Loose ball out of bounds. Underwood got it, but just couldn't stop himself from sliding.
Yeah, you see him holding his nose a little bit there. I think they're playing him very physical, very, very physical to start off this game. Really just want to contain him.
Williams gets that into Collicott. And Collicott looking to drive baseline, gets it to Beckman. Now Beckman kicking out to Williams. Williams, pump fake, mid-range jumper, and in, and one! Darian Williams, chance at a 3-point play, and the Cougars on top for the first time tonight.
Beautiful shot there from Williams. Really beautiful shot. Having that mid-range game is so important, so important. Opens up everything else, and it just allows for your shot to get in rhythm. And so that's a really good-looking shot there.
Free throws up and good. It's a 3-point play for D. Williams. And you mentioned that mid-range game. It's one of the most consistent parts of Williams' game as that ball out of bounds. And that's going to be Cougars ball. Great press defense from Talis Lowry. So the Cougars take it back, and we'll get back to talking about Williams in a minute after the Cougars have another chance at an offensive possession here. Lowry working across the court, getting it to Williams. Beckman, mid-range, floats that into Brown. Brown's up and Brown's in.
Fantastic ball movement. Fantastic ball movement. That's what we like to see there.
And that's something that we don't see too often out of the Cougars, moving the ball into the post purely through passing. Cougars lead by 4. And that's a steal. Talis Lowry all alone. Easy layup and in for Talis Lowry. And the Cougars, a 9-0 swing here early. They lead 12-6. Underwood bringing it down, working on Brown. And that's going to be an off-ball foul tag to Brown. First of the night on any of the Cougars. And you see a couple of substitutions. Underwood and Murphy out of the game for the Stars. Lowry comes out of the game for the Cougars. A.J. Willard into the game for CUC. Nenig kicking that out to the perimeter, and that's an awkward pass from Taylor.
Cougars really having a really good pressure to begin this game. I like what I'm seeing.
And Collicott, good pressure, and that's going to be, he's going to force a loose ball, and it's a steal. Sean Beckman bringing that foul to court, and he will slow it down. He'll swing that over to Willard. Now Willard, top of the key, sends that to Brown. Brown driving in, layup, and in! A tough shot from Aaron Brown over the head of Cameron Scott, and the Cougars lead by 8.
Oh, man, I'm telling you, I feel like he's going to have a big night tonight. He's going to have a good night.
And Cameron Scott, bit of an awkward dunk, but it goes in, his first points of the night. and that breaks an 11-0 run. And this is so important to watch. Terrell Taylor and Cameron Scott, two of the best players on this Dominican team, and they both come off the bench a lot. They're both now into the game for the first time tonight. It'll be interesting to see how they impact the game as Brown works towards the baseline. Out to Beckman, 3. That's short off the side of the rim and out of bounds.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Very interesting decision from Dominican to start basically your two leading scorers, or not start your two leading scorers, excuse me, and have them come off the bench. Probably brings a fresh set of legs, obviously, but also there's probably some different dynamics they want to do with the offense when they come in. So probably giving the Cougars a bit of a different look there.
And Scott, he's scored double digits in every game in his 3-game win streak. Started the first of those, came off the bench in the last 2, and he's led the team scoring in the last 2. His worst game was in the game he started. So he might just be one of those players who's better off the bench. As here's a 3 from Nenig. No good. Hard contact on the follow-through. Rebounded by the Cougars. Beckman over to Willard, over to Collicott. Collicott thought about a 3, driving baseline, gets up and under! Jacob Collicott! And the Cougars lead by 8 again. And the first time out of the night is going to be called by head coach Troy Tonsel.
That is such a beautiful move. Here we'll see Jacob Collicott's athleticism just come to shine there every single time. It's just something to marvel. That was a beautiful reverse.
It's incredible. He gets up there and he's able to hang there, work that around. Cameron Scott he's really the tallest player you're going to have to get around on this Dominican team, and Collicott solves that problem by going under. I'm honestly surprised it took this long to get our first time out of the night from Coach Tonsel.
Well, it was probably just waiting to see what the players would do to adjust. Maybe he's one of those coaches that just allows their players to kind of play the game without having much of his input and just seeing what kind of adjustments they want to make on their own. But, you know, with the swing that the Cougars were having to begin this game, it was probably a pretty good timeout he called.
As the Stars trail by 8, they'll have possession coming out of the timeout. We'll see how that timeout is able to change the game for Dominican, and it's Taylor who takes the inbound. Facing double pressure on the press, able to get it out to Nenig. Nenig swinging to Taylor. Taylor driving. Out to Crapia. Crapia all the way across to Nenig. Back over to Crapia. Now Scott working in the paint. Mid-range, it gets that into Nenig. Easy up and in for the guard.
Yeah, that was a good little back-to-the-basket cut there, and just Cougars weren't able to get back in time.
And some weak hands from Aaron Brown on that drive. And Dominican's able to pick up a steal. Scott driving, just throws it up and gets it to fall.
Wow. I have no words.
This is an awkward shot from Cameron Scott, just driving through the contact of Collicott. And he's able to get it to fall, which is just a great touch on that toss from Cameron Scott. Stars back to only trailing by 4. Great performance out of the timeout. Now Beckman tries to get that to Brown. That's going to be kicked out by Scott, so CUC will retain possession.
Dominican definitely looks like they're coming out with a little bit more intent, a little bit more energy after the timeout. Hopefully, you know, the Cougars are able to still put the pressure on.
They're throwing in a bit more size out on the court, going up against Aaron Brown. Robbie Taylor, number 33, into the game now. And another late sub for Dominican, Quante May, coming in for Dominic Crapia. Collicott working in the corner, looking for somewhere to go. He'll drive central. A nice move! And no good on the shot. Trying to fight for his own rebound. And that's going to be a jump ball. Quante May and Jacob Collicott getting tied up. Possession going the way of Dominican. So the Stars will retain possession.
Man, that would have been a sweet move, huh?
It's a nice, like, just up in the air around the back of the room. You don't see the Around the World much live in game.
No, you definitely don't. Definitely don't. Definitely something I would do in like 2K.
Quante May now working down the near sideline, sends that over to Terrell Taylor. Taylor working on Beckman on the perimeter, moving in, and he'll slow that down, get it back out to Scott. Scott over to Taylor, into Taylor. Now Terrell Taylor driving in, over to Scott. 3. No good. Rebounded by Collicott. And Sean Beckman able to disrupt that one. It's a loose ball, and Terrell Taylor's able to take it. It's a 2-on-1 on Collicott. Quante May, nice up and under.
Good move there. That was a really good move there. Saw Collicott coming in for the block and saw the angle and used his touch, used his ability to get around him and finish with a reverse. That was a good play.
6-0 swing now for Dominican. They only trail by 2. And that's a nice pass from Collicott. Lasers it in to Willard, and the Cougars back up on the board. May working on the far sideline. And he's going to put up a 3, and that's long. Misses the rim entirely. Rebounded by Collicott. Cougars pushing the pace. And up and no good for Jordan Lacey.
Dominican have yet to make a three-pointer out of 6 attempts. All their points have came in within pretty much the paint area.
And this is a team that's actually decent from 3, 33% on the season. They've been very hot from 3 as of late.
Well, as we've seen so far, some of it has been just bad touch simply. But also the Cougars have been having some really good pressure, really contesting shots well. So, they're coming out with a lot of energy, a lot of intent. And
that's a steal for Willard. The press works out. First shot's no good. Rebounded by Bennett. So Willard bringing the high-intensity press again, and he almost gets another steal. That's out of bounds off of Willard. It's actually out of bounds off of Bennett. So the Cougars force back-to-back turnovers. We've seen the Cougars employ a press defense before. I don't think we've seen it at this intensity this season. As now Collicott, quick mid-range jumper, no good. Rebounded by Bennett again. Willard, high-intensity press again, and Bennett just gets it out to Terrell Taylor. And Terrell Taylor's going to lose the ball. Collicott with a steal. He gets it to Lowry, down to Willard. And Robbie Taylor got a bit greedy, went up for the block. Willard recognizes it and just takes the contact.
And the physicality of this game has been up a notch tonight. They know it's a big game, rivalry game, but also a lot of playoff implications with this game. So I'm sure that both coaches have came out tonight saying that they have to bring the energy, have to bring the intensity, because both teams are hungry. They're hungry.
Willard, first free throw is good. Puts the Cougars back up by 5. 3 turnovers in the last minute for the Stars, as Willard's second free throw is up and good. Terrell Taylor with inbound, gets it into Bennett. Bennett immediately double teamed. Terrell Taylor working on Willard, over to Bennett. Bennett looking for someone, gets it to Underwood. Now Underwood able to break past midcourt, and he'll slow it down, gets it to Cameron Scott. Under 20 on the shot clock. Bennett working on Yangwao. Terrell Taylor, top of the key, looking to working the baseline, mid-range jumper, no good. Rebounded by Collicott, and he will push the pace on Bennett. Tries to just throw that up, no good. Rebounded by Bennett.
Yeah, good aggressive take there from Collicott. He needs to keep being aggressive. The shots will start to come, starts to shot to fall. Just keep being aggressive.
Lucas Underwood on the far sideline, working perimeter, gets it to Robbie Taylor. Taylor working in, and Robbie Taylor able to draw the foul.
Honestly, I do not mind that foul because that was a very big mismatch down in that paint. Looked like that was going to be an easy 2 buckets for Dominican, so that's a good foul. That's a good foul.
Good foul. It's tagged on Talis Lowry. Robbie Taylor is the biggest player on the court right now.
Oh, for sure.
And we'll see how he does at the line on the season. Taylor has been shooting 64% from the charity stripe. He hits the first. And he'll look to go 2 for 2. That would bring Dominican within 4. Second shot up, no good. Rebounded by Brown.
See how the Cougars come out here.
Cougars lead 20-15. Just under 10 minutes to go in the first half. Yangwao over to Collicott. Collicott, top of the key, tries to get it into Brown. That pass is disrupted by Scott. Gets it to Taylor. Taylor back over to Scott. It's an awkward pass. And almost a turnover. They're going to say Talis Lowry stepped out of bounds as he got that pass off. So the Dominican avoids disaster and now have a second chance.
I'm shocked Taylor did not go up with that at all. He had a wide open lane there.
And Collicott was staying on Scott as Terrell Taylor driving in, kicks out to Bennett. 3, that's going to be wide. Another air ball, slippery fingers from Aaron Brown out of bounds. So second chance again for Dominican.
Yeah, that's something that we highlighted in the pregame. Got to rebound the basketball, especially when you have misses like that.
Cougars failing to capitalize on some of these misses and miscues from Dominican. Inbound to Terrell Taylor. Taylor spinning, working on Willard. Trying to find an opening, and he'll just drive in, and he draws the foul.
Well, hopefully it doesn't come back and bite the Cougars, but these are the things that we did mention. Just the second chance opportunities, third chance opportunities. When you give offenses another chance to be able to score the basketball, you know, it can become just very tedious and just unnecessary.
Stowe down on Dominican side of the court. Taylor over to Bennett. Swinging back over to Underwood, and Underwood will try and reset the offense. He'll drive down towards the corner. Gets it over to Bennett. Bennett spinning into the paint, puts up a shot, working on Brown, and he'll draw the foul. The Cougars upset again, and finally this possession should end with a trip to the free throw line for Andre Bennett.
I don't know. I felt that was all ball right there, but you know they don't pay us the referee.
Here's the referee trying to even out that foul disparity as Andre Bennett first shot up and in. So Dominican back within 4. Bennett will try to make it 3 as a couple of subs for the Cougars. Brown and Youngwell come out of the game. Williams and Beckman back in for CUC. Bennett, second shot. Makes it a 3-point game. Lowry taking point. Working on Underwood, able to get it past midcourt. Gets it to Willard. Williams now top of the key. Double teamed at the mid-range. He'll put up the mid-range jumper short off the front of the rim. Rebounded by Terrell Taylor. He'll push the pace over to Scott. Scott blocked by Collicott! Woo-wee.
That kid is something else. That kid is something else, man.
Scott tried to hang up there as long as he could. Collicott hung up there longer and swatted that straight back down. Out of bounds off Collicott, so it is another possession for the Stars. Taylor out to Bennett. Bennett driving in. He'll put up a shot, and that's in.
Tough basket there. That's a tough bucket right there.
Through double contact, able to just get it to roll over the rim.
Well, he was able to use that spin move, and he was able to find that angle, just that slight angle that had let them over for a little bit. Good shot.
The Stars now trail by 1. Willard, 3, no good off the front of the rim. Rebound, Beckman, second chance opportunity, and in.
Great pursuit there from Beckman. Great pursuit.
Cougars back up by 3. Taylor pushing the pace over to Robbie Taylor, into Cameron Scott. Scott loses the ball, gets it back. Now corner 3 from Underwood. Well short off the front of the rim. Loose rebound. Robbie Taylor has it, and he is up and in.
Still Dominican 0 for 8 from the three-point line.
Uncharacteristically poor shooting from the perimeter for Dominican, and they've been bad misses as well.
Yeah, that's what I was going to mention. Just not good looks that they're getting.
Tallis Lowry through contact, able to just throw it up, and he draws the foul. And it's going to be tagged on Andre Bennett, so Tallis Lowry, he'll head to the free throw line for the first time tonight.
Also, too, they're out field goaling us right now. 47% for Dominican from the field, 40% for the Cougs. But those three-pointers have been pretty much the difference so far.
They're shooting well from within the arc. They're shooting very well. They've hit almost all of their shots from within the arc. It's that three-point shooting that's been the disparity simply because those are shots Dominican isn't making.
Yeah, it might just be the atmosphere. Might just be the atmosphere tonight.
Lowry's first free throw up and in. Looking to make it 2 for 2 here. And he will. Cougars back up by 3, 24-21. CUC has been perfect from the free throw line so far tonight, and that's something that's been not common for CUC. They struggled from the free throw line against Concordia, Wisconsin this past Saturday, and it ended up costing them. Those free throws did make the difference.
I think that's something that has just been kind of a negative theme about this group this year. So it's been the lack of consistency from the line for most of these games. There would be a lot of times where there would be in these games if they would make their free throws. But, you know, they're doing a good job so far tonight.
Underwood's pass disrupted, so Sean Beckman will bring it down the court for CUC. Gets it to Collicott. Collicott thought about a 3, and they'll lose that ball, stolen by Nenig. Terrell Taylor gets that to Underwood, back into Terrell Taylor. Terrell Taylor driving in, working on Pryor, out to Robbie Taylor. Robbie Taylor working on Beckman, and Beckman draws the charge.
Wow, what a hard shoulder.
That is an awkward play.
Yeah. I'm not sure if he drove the elbow in or it was like a forearm, something.
This one-on-one play. Robbie Taylor on Sean Beckman. Beckman planned himself, and Robbie Taylor chose to go straight through him, and it worked out for the Cougars. Another turnover, and with a 3-point lead, Jordan Lacey will bring it down court. Darian Williams gets it to Collicott. Collicott, no look pass to Beckman, off of Beckman's back, still able to get it. Back to Beckman. Beckman driving in, jump stop, shot, no good. Rebound, Terrell Taylor. Long ball over to Underwood, into Robbie Taylor, puts it up and in! And one for Robbie Taylor. Foul tagged on Sean Beckman. And Coach Rashawn Searles will call the first time out of the night for CUC.
Yeah, that was just been dominating the paint so far. He's made his first 2 shots, Taylor, and just been a big presence since he's came into this game. Cougars have just yet to find an answer for him in terms of the physicality that he's bringing right now to the floor.
Robbie Taylor, he's big. He's very big. He's the biggest player on the court tonight, and he has a great touch. That's what we've been able to see. If he can get his hand up towards the rim, he's able to lay it in. Great power, great accuracy. Looking to make it 6 points on the night with this upcoming free throw.
Kind of like a throwback as well. You know, you don't really see too many big men who just are just bruisers down there.
Yeah.
And just able to just push into the paint. So it's kind of refreshing as well to see something that's just a little bit old school, and you know, something that I guess, you know, is something that's really well for his game.
I think that's something tough for the Cougars tonight. A night where for once they're not outsized that much, but the biggest player on the other team is a bruiser, like you mentioned, Alan. It's something you don't go up against often. It's a very different kind of player to play against. Taylor's free throw up and in, and we're tied back up at 24. Coach Tonso getting upset. The Cougars inbound 8 before he had a chance to subs. The officials, they'll reset that play. A couple subs from both teams. Jordan Lacey gets that to Javen Reed, who's into the game for the first time tonight. Collicott back over to Lacey. Into Beckman. Beckman working, has space. No good. Second chance opportunity is in.
Great move. Great move to get open there. Even though he did not make the first attempt, was able to pursue, get the rebound, and capitalize on the second.
Jordan Lacey, he'll get tagged with the foul in transition. That'll reset the possession for Dominican. And that does put Dominican into the bonus. So one foul away from bonus. So my apologies for that miscue as Underwood gets that over to Nenig. Nenig swings to Terrell Taylor. Terrell Taylor for 3. No good. Rebound Beckman. 0 for 9 from the perimeter for Dominican.
Curse continues. Oh, shooting continues.
Reed into Brown. He'll take it up himself. It's knocked free, and Beckman's right there. Second chance opportunity is good for Aaron Brown. Some luck for the Cougars, and they're back up by 4.
Yeah, Cougars with 6 second chance points so far this half. So capitalizing on these opportunities and, you know, making Dominican pay.
Terrell Taylor pushing the pace, and another reaching foul called on Jordan Lacey, his second within a short span. And that does put Dominican into the bonus, and Terrell Taylor will head to the line. Terrell Taylor, he's shot 44% from 3 on the season. He's just another one of those players who's struggled tonight.
Yeah, it's just kind of just been the overall theme. Just that 3-point shot has just not been there for Dominican.
First free throw is good.
And you kind of just wonder if it's just kind of just the rhythm that they're having, and you can only imagine that it's only going to go up from here. You know, maybe, you know, sometimes teams just don't have it for the first few minutes in the game. So hopefully it's something that continues, but just got to be wary of that going on forward.
And with no three-point makes, you can't only go up. It's dangerous for the Cougars because when they're not shooting from three, Dominican has been on point tonight. 10 for 12 on shots from inside the arc. Brown working in the paint, puts it up, no good. Loose ball, rebound O'Brien. Trout Taylor pushing pace, nice ball to Nenig! And they're gonna call a foul on Jacob Collicott. The Cougars up in arms. They thought it was a clean block. It's called a pushing, a shove on Collicott. Rashawn Searles wants to have a discussion with the official. And that's gonna send Daniel Nenig to the line.
Wow. It was kind of hard to tell from this angle. It just happened so fast.
I mean, it was all, the ball contact was all ball. I think where the official's going is the fact that Collicott followed through Nenig. It was body contact. I think that's where they're getting the foul call. But Nenig's first shot, no good. The second shot is good. And that brings the Stars within 2. So Collicott misses out on a highlight reel play, but the Stars only get 1 point, so they still trail by 2 with just over 4 minutes to go in the first half.
I'd like to see Collicott get going a little bit more.
Reed driving in, lots of space. No one from Dominican challenging. Cameron Scott, he's back in the game. He has the ball for the Stars. Underwood around the logo, trying to look for somewhere to go. He gets it to Crapia. Underwood to Scott for 3. And that finally falls for Dominican. Their 10th attempt in their first 3 of the night, and the Stars are within 1.
There it is. There it is. Finally. Broke the cold shooting streak.
You can't get much of a better opportunity than that. A great screen, lots of space for Underwood to set up that shot. So now Aaron Brown going to go to work on Dean O'Brien. He'll get that out to Lacey. Now Reed, he'll drive in again, and Callum Scott gets up there. Lacey draws the foul on Lucas Underwood.
Well, it seems nobody's happy with the referees tonight.
I mean, both teams not liking these calls on what they believe should be blocks. The officials, they like going for that body contact as Lacey's first free throw is up and in. Gives the Cougars back a 2-point lead.
I'd like to see the Cougars just control the paint a little more on the defensive side. As you were mentioning, Jonathan, just their Dominicans just been lethal from there to begin this game, and we basically have had no answer for them. So need the Cougars to kind of bear down a little bit in that paint area and contest a little bit more on those shots, inside shots.
Just over 3 minutes to go. Stars trail by 3. Terrell Taylor working down the far sideline on Tallis Lowry. Daniel Nenig has some space. He'll put up the mid-range jumper. It's no good. It's rebounded by Scott, and he'll reset the possession. Terrell Taylor driving in, puts it up, rolls around, and falls. That just teetered on the edge of the rim for a hot minute there.
Good body control there from Terrell. Stumbled a little bit with the ball going in, but was still able to maintain good enough possession. And good touch at the rim.
And it's a good job taking advantage of that second chance opportunity. Again, they got that offensive rebound. It's now Sean Beckman in the mid-range. He'll put up the jumper, and he'll nail it.
Beautiful shot. Beautiful shot.
And Troy Tonsel is not happy with his team's defense there, just letting Sean Beckman have that space in the mid-range. Dean O'Brien draws a foul. That's going to get tagged as a blocking foul on A.J. Willard.
I don't know. Do you feel like the feet were set there?
I think Willard's feet were set. I think what the officials will say is Willard set his feet after O'Brien was already airborne.
Okay.
So O'Brien had no way of avoiding Willard. And those are fouls. I mean, the Cougars obviously not going to be happy with that one. They won't fight it too much. It's the foul calls. It hasn't been uneven. They've been going both ways. but it's not the kind of officiating you see normally in the games that the Cougars play in, as that first free throw from O'Brien is up and in. But Dean O'Brien on the season, he's been averaging 8.5 minutes per game. He started 3, and he's made a start again tonight, and he hasn't played poorly.
No, he's been a pretty good contributor so far, having some good minutes here, and just giving a lot of good minutes so far for Dominican.
Tallis Lowry running point, working towards the outside, gets it to Williams. Collicott now, working at the top of the key. Looking for somewhere to go, gets it to Lowry. Lowry now driving in, puts it up over the reach of Cameron Scott for 2. Dean O'Brien able to save that pass, and Stars able to break the press. Terrell Taylor, he'll just push the pace, immediately blocked by Beckman. But Beckman's pass interrupted. Terrell Taylor, second chance. Beautiful layup.
Yeah, good sidestep there. That was a beautiful sidestep, able to get around John Beckman.
That was a nice low release, too. Terrell Taylor, once he gets those opportunities in the paint, he's been remarkable. Stars back within 1. Out to Williams. Williams thought about 3. Now he'll drive in. Just puts it up himself. No good. Rebounded by Nenig. He'll push the pace. Gets it to O'Brien. O'Brien going to work on Collicott. Under. Misses the rim entirely, and it's rebounded by Beckman. Long pass to Brown. Brought down by O'Brien. And it's going to get called out of bounds on Brown. Brown, the first player to touch down out of bounds. That was almost a football pass right there.
That was interesting. But that's one of the things, just having to slow down. I feel like that possession, you just don't have to push it as much. You have a lot of time on the shot clock. And also, Collicott he got going a little bit after the ball was inbound. And, if you're pushing it as soon as you inbound, then, that's a little bit more better. But just take your time a little bit there. Don't have to force anything.
Joe Taylor under to Nenig. Shot up, no good. Out of bounds off of the Cougars. They've dropped exactly 1/10 of a second, under a minute to go in the half. Inbounded to Crapia. Crapia driving baseline, just throws that up with a prayer. Wow. Now Aaron Brown will drive, trying to break through 3, and that is out of bounds, called on Dominican. And I'm actually with Daniel Nenig on this one. That was off of Aaron Brown's foot. That should be Dominican ball.
Well, hopefully Cougars here can take advantage of it.
Cougars going to catch a break now. Collicott stood there, thought about 3 for a second. He'll give it to Lowry. Tallis Lowry back to Collicott, and Collicott looking to go to work. Now he's looking for an option. He'll do it himself. Throws it up over the back. No good. Rebound O'Brien.
Yeah, Collicott struggling a little bit here from the floor. 1 for 7. Only 2 points this half. Hopefully he can get a little bit more rhythm going into the second half.
That ball will dribble out of bounds all the way on the other side of the court, out of the Cougars. A.J. Willard almost able to chase that down.
I will say the Cougars have been bringing a lot of intensity, a lot of energy, and a lot of selfless play basketball tonight. So it's good to see that.
15 seconds left in the half. Dominican with a chance to take the lead before they head into the locker room. Terrell Taylor, top of the key, 3, and banks it in. Terrell Taylor shrugs his shoulders, and the Cougars chance to take it back. Airballed on the half-court shot from Tallis Lowry, and a tight half where the Cougars led for the majority of the half. We'll end with Dominican leading 38-36 as we head into the locker room. So far, the Stars lead 38-36. Some bright spots on both teams, some dark spots on both teams. Both teams have players and aspects of their game struggling. We'll see what these coaches figure out in halftime to try and get their squads back to the performance that they want in this second half. But here on the Cougar Sports Network, we'll take a short break as these teams get reset, and we will be back after halftime for more Cougar basketball.
What's up, Cougar Nation? Want to catch up on all the CUC men's basketball action you've missed so far this year? Stick around on our YouTube channel and click the men's basketball playlist to see our highlights, interviews, and all our previous games. Thanks for all of your support.
What's up, Cougar Nation? I'm Jonathan Shearer of the Cougar Sports Network here with Alan Mateo as we get ready for the second half of play here in Geisden Gymnasium. And it's Dominican University Stars who lead 38-36 on a late three from Jerome Taylor to push him over. And that was a tight first half for pretty much the whole time. And it's going to be a really interesting second half because there are two glaring parts of each team's game that has struggled so far.
Yeah, the three-point shooting for Dominican has to be highlighted. It was atrocious to say the least in the first half. I think they missed their first 10 three-pointers. Yeah. And they were able to hit their last two, which is honestly kind of scary because they're still in this game. They lead this game. Yep. So it'll be interesting to see if they continue that, and that could spell trouble for the Cougars.
Exactly. Dominican, when they're shooting within the arc, they have been incredible tonight. Over 75%. They're hitting those shots. They're winning in the paint. Their battles on offense in the paint. The problem has been that three-point shooting. If they get that going, this offense is going to be firing. The Cougars, it's not a whole team aspect that's been a glaring point of struggle tonight. It's one specific player out on that court.
Diego Calicaz just had a really, really rough night tonight. Only one shot made, 2 points in that first half. Would love to see him get going here. A little bit, needs to slow down a little bit, find his rhythm, find his shots, and just be who he is. And hopefully he'll have a better second half here.
again, it goes doubly for the Cougars. They have to watch out because Dominican's offense could go to the next level if they start hitting threes. The Cougars' offense could go to the next level if Jacob Collicott gets firing once again, and that's something Dominican has to watch out for. So both of these teams, they have things they can fix. This game can look totally different in this second half, but that's something we'll have to watch out for once we get back. Alan, before the game, you talked about turnovers for the Cougars. You talked about winning battles in the paint. Has your key to the game changed at all after that first half?
Yes, not necessarily. I feel like the Cougars still need to take care of the basketball a little bit more. There were a few possessions where they were rushing a little bit, and you saw some really quick turnovers, really quick turnarounds. They do need to just slow down a little bit, pace themselves, and take more control of this game. And overall, though, it's been pretty even, but we'd like to see them work on that during the second half.
Absolutely should be an exciting second half here in this year's edition of the Division 3 rivalry. We'll be back in just a moment on the Cougar Sports Network to bring you the second half here between the Dominican Stars and the Concordia Cougars. And welcome back to tonight's matchup between the Dominican Stars and the Concordia Chicago Cougars. CUC trails by 2, 36-38, and they have possession to start the half. Collicott working paint, out to Beckman. 3, no good, rebounded by Crapia.
Good look there from Beckman. That was a good look. Just not hit, but keep taking those shots.
O'Brien in the paint, tough D, shots up, no good, rebounded by Pryor, and Cougars will push the pace. Williams driving straight in, and a big block from Braden Murphy. Dominican comes away with a loose ball rebound. O'Brien on the floor, and Murphy chance to go down the court, no good, rebounded and out of bounds.
Great contest there from Jacob Collicott. Just made O'Brien just a little bit wary of that shot, and made him miss.
First 42 seconds of this half, no one scored. But honestly, it's because of the defense. Both teams playing some great defense on those opening 3 possessions. Now, Darian Williams over to Sean Beckman. Beckman working on Daniel Nenig. Going in, just throws that up. No good. Rebounded by Murphy. And Murphy, plenty of space. He'll send that to Crapia. Back into Murphy. Back out to Crapia. Crapia thought about a corner 3. Tries to get it in to Murphy. And that's going to be called for a foul. Jacob Collicott tagged with his second of the night. And that'll reset the shot clock at 20 for Dominican. Nenig looking for an option as he inbounds. And he'll just send that out to Crapia. Underwood over to Murphy. Now Murphy gets it to O'Brien. O'Brien for 3. Off the back of the rim, rebounded by Collicott.
Good contested from Pryor.
Tallis Lowry spinning into the paint. Layup, no good. Rebounded by Murphy. Nenig looking for somewhere to go. Gets it to Underwood. Back over to Nenig. Into O'Brien, who puts it up. And what a play from Dominican.
Wow, he did that up in the air as well. That was really impressive. That was a good athletic move.
Dean O'Brien for his second points of the night. And Collicott responds with a 3. These two teams finally go back-to-back in some impressive plays on the night. Jacob Collicott gets going with a 3. Dean O'Brien with a mid-air reception and layup. And Collicott now with the steal. He'll try to drive it in himself. Floater, no good. And Carson Knoll is going to be able to draw the foul on the putback.
As you saw with Collicott there on that 3-pointer, you saw how he was set. He was in a calm position, took his time, and was able to focus well on the shot. That's the kind of things that he's going to have to do more in this second half just to find some more consistency.
Tallis Lowry finally pulled down the net. That was caught up on the rim for a hot minute. It's pulled down, and Carson Knoll sends it through that net to tie this game back up at 40. Second free throw is good. Rattles in, and the Cougars are back on top. Dean O'Brien. Pass is knocked out of bounds by Kenton Pryor. So that'll reset it for Dominican further down the court. No time virtually coming off the shot clock. Lucas Underwood double teamed, able to break it. Gets it into O'Brien, who puts it up and in. Put Dominican back up on top. Collicott driving straight in. A nice ball to Sean Beckman, and that draws a block on Braden Murphy. I've got to say, got to appreciate the official for calling that a block for being in the restricted area. That's something that we've seen officials miss this season, is just ignoring the restricted area. The official's aware of it there. That's a foul on Murphy.
How about that pass, though, from Collicott? Really good awareness there. Saw the defender trying to take the charge and dumped it off to Beckman. That was really good, floor vision right there.
Lowry looking for somewhere to go. Gets it to Pryor. Mid-range. No good. Very short. And that's going to be an off-ball foul tag to O'Brien. So the Cougars will get a second chance. Inbound to Collicott. Three. No good. Rattles out. And that's a slow pass. Collicott intercepts. He's going to go to work on Crapia, and he'll lose it out of bounds.
So I like that he's being aggressive, which is good. It's good to see that. It's good to see that. Even on the missed shot, did not give up. Was able to get the steal, get the turnover. Now he's giving his team another chance.
Great awareness. It was a lazy inbound for Dominican. Now Pryor gets it to Lowry. Lowry looking to work in. Beckman, corner three. No good. Rebounded by Murphy. Nenig able to evade the steal from Collicott. Gets it to Underwood. Underwood just has to chuck it over to Nenig, who gets it to the corner. Crapia, nothing but net. And Dominican's up by 4.
Love how he was able to catch and just shoot right away. Got to his spot. Was in rhythm. That was a really good looking shot.
Pryor going to be blocked by Scott. That'll head out of bounds. Gets to the spot, and first three of the half is in for Dominican. If that starts happening consistently, that spells danger for the Cougars. So you see 18 seconds left on the shot clock. Collicott to inbound, gets it to Beckman, back to Collicott, straight up, no good. And that's going to draw a foul on Scott. So Jacob Collicott will head to the line for the first time tonight.
Love that they're trying to get Jacob more involved, really get him his shots. And, being aggressive, trying to, do the most that he can and try to get him going. As Cougars want to win this game, he will have to get going.
He's struggled tonight, still 2 for 10 from the field, 20% shooting. But at the end of the day, he is still your best player. And when he gets going, he can get going.
Yeah, never a doubt. You have to have faith within your best player. It doesn't matter, shoot or shoot. You have to keep giving him the ball and keep giving him a chance to make plays.
Nenig under Beckman, and a putback from Cameron Scott to get that 4-point lead back. Collicott to Brown. Brown driving, and that's going to be stripped by Nenig. Now Nenig driving in, up for the layup, and Collicott gets up there. Now Knoll will lose possession. So now Dominican a chance to respond. Both of these teams, turnovers after turnover, and Lucas Underwood will slow it down. Lucas Underwood working with a 4-point lead. He'll get it to Nenig, over to Murphy, over to Crapia. Crapia for 3. Back of the rim, rebounded by Collicott.
That was a really good defensive possession there from the Cougars. They were trying to set some ball screens, trying to get guys open, and, there was nothing there. Great job from the Cougars being able to cover all those gaps.
Cougars haven't hit a shot from the field in almost 3 minutes. Brown driving and fouled.
Yeah, they called that a little late there.
I think that's something I've noticed. I think what these officials do, and it's not a standard technique from officials, it's not wrong. They don't blow the whistle until after the ball falls. They want to see if it's going to be an and one whistle, let the play transpire without the whistle. But, you know, sometimes you saw it on Aaron Brown's face. He was starting to wonder, where's the call? I just got slapped in the face.
Yeah, sometimes you just kind of just like, man, what else do I have to do, you know?
But he profits with that first free throw attempt. He'll look to make it 2 for 2.
And, you know, Aaron Brown's having a good night once again. You know, hopefully he'll have his 8th point here, which he does. You know, 15 minutes, 8 points, 3 rebounds. I mean, you know, there's not much more you can ask for somebody come off the bench. He's been another impact player tonight for sure.
Terrell Taylor back into the game for the first time this half. Working down the far sideline. Gets it to Murphy. Murphy gets that over to Pelsinski. Pelsinski back to Terrell Taylor. And Terrell Taylor into the paint to Murphy. Murphy working on Beckman, up and in.
It's good old paint bruising right there.
Inbound, picked up by Collicott, and he's going to push the pace. Driving in, Beckman, slotted down by Cameron Scott. A great chase down from Cameron Scott to get there and reject Sean Beckman.
Wow, that was a really, really athletic play.
I think Sean
came out of
Beckman,
nowhere.
Sean Beckman just didn't expect that shot to be contested.
Yeah, no, it looked like he had a wide open shot. But that's a great pursuit. Great pursuit.
Collicott now sends that over to Lowry. Tallis Lowry working, looking for an option. Driving in, and a great knock from Terrell Taylor. A great play from Aaron Brown to get there and try and put the loose ball back up. But now the Stars pushing the pace. Terrell Taylor gonna take a turn, being rejected by Jacob Collicott.
Wow, another block for Collicott.
It's been a block party on both sides in this second half, in the second half alone. These teams have been getting a lot of blocks. Scott driving in, mid-range, just throws it up, and rebounded by Beckman. Tallis Lowry gets it to Willard, and Willard has some space on the far side, drives baseline, spins, puts it up. No good, but fouled by Daniel Nenning.
Nice aggressive take there from Willard.
It was good confidence. He had some space on the perimeter, could have just kept the play going, saw that he had a little space, brings it in, bides his time, creates a good shot, and puts it up. First free throw up and in. I mean, you want to talk about what's remarkable for the Cougars. This is a team on the season, 67% free throw shooting, which is not good. Under 70% last game against CUW. Tonight, they are 17 for 17 from the charity stripe. Those free throws have kept them in the game.
That is huge. That is huge. Being able to hit those free throws just is something that has been a struggle for them this year. But tonight, you know, they're locking it in, and it's paid dividends.
Cameron Scott saving the backcourt violation. Working top of the key, gets it to Bennett. Now Bennett will drive, stops, corner, gets to Pelsinski in the corner, 3, no good. Rebounded by Scott, tries to go back up, and he draws the foul.
Yeah, Cougars just looked a little outsized right now, struggling to get those rebounds, and wondering if Coach is going to make some changes here where he's going to want some more size out there.
I mean, it's the combo of Cameron Scott, who is tall, very tall, has a massive reach. His wingspan is incredible. And then Robbie Taylor, who's also very tall and big, as Cameron Scott's first free throw is no good. And Cameron Scott, yep, there's the whistle blown. He is bleeding from above his left eye.
Oh, wow.
As training staff comes running over to the rescue, so we'll get a quick break in play as they try and get Scott's eye cleaned up. But a quick look at those second half totals so far. I mean, both of these teams have been shooting very well in this half. 6.5 minutes in, 11 points apiece. Stays at a 2-point gap. Collicott's gotten more involved. He leads the Cougars this half with 5. But it's been very spread out on Dominican side for this half of shooting.
Yeah, I mean, still both teams actually struggling from the three-point line a little bit. But the Cougars are doing really well from the strike. Already 8 free throw attempts. And obviously, as we mentioned earlier, have made all their free throws. So they're 8 for 8 from this half, 17 for 17 in total. But the physicality is still there. It's still been a very physical game, as we just seen here with Cameron Scott and his eye. But, you know, this is a game that both of these teams want. And frankly, they're earning it. They're earning it right now.
You want to talk about a physical game, something that very well could come into play. We're only 6.5 minutes in. Dominican's already been tagged for 6 fouls. One more, and the Cougars are going to be in the bonus.
Well, if I'm the Cougars, I am going to aggressively attack the interior and try to get a foul, because that could change the game right there.
And it's even better because that free throw shooting, that's been the best part of your game tonight. As Cameron Scott will not be returning immediately, so it'll be Dominic Rapia to take the second free throw. And it's in. Stars up by 3. Lowry lays that to Willard, over to Collicott. Collicott tries to get it into Brown. That's broken up, and Taylor has it. Robbie to Terrell Taylor. Terrell working on the far sideline. Terrell Taylor gets it to Bennett. Bennett working on Youngwow. Double teamed on the far side. Back out to Robbie Taylor, who will just drive. Floater and in.
Not much you can do there. Not much you can do there.
Robbie Taylor, his first points of the half on the game as a whole. He has been great tonight. As there's a mid-range shot. Jacob Collicott back on the board, and the Cougars back within 3.
Yeah, I like how Collicott was able to create some space there, find that mid-range shot, and it was real easy. You know, nobody in front of him, and he was able to knock it down. So just felt big things for him.
Terrell Taylor working down the near sideline, slings it to Crapia, wide open 3.
Defensive breakdown.
No one within 10 feet of Dominic Crapia as he takes that shot. He'll get tagged with a foul. As wrapping up Jacob Collicott. Well, there's bonus. There's a bonus. Cougars going to the free throw line now, but yeah, 6-point lead now for Dominican. You just can't leave a shooter that open on the arc.
Yeah, when you're going to double team and press up on a half like that, on the half court, you have to have somebody be able to be ready to rotate over when somebody's open like that. And, you know, as we mentioned earlier, this Dominican team has been struggling from the three-point line, but they're 2 for 5 this half so far, which is 40% from the three-point line. And more common than not, that's going to win you basketball games. So got to do a better job of closing out.
Cougars no longer perfect from the free throw line. Rebounded by Brown. Putbacks missed. Tallis Lowry's rebound attempt to knock it out just slaps it in the face of Terrell Taylor, and then the Cougars are tagged for a foul. But that's going to be a steal for Jacob Collicott, and he's going to draw the foul. Dominic Crapia just grabbing Collicott's arm, and Jacob Collicott will head back to the free throw line.
Well, both teams in the bonus, right? It's a good spell for a long half. All these fouls keep coming.
Collicott up and in, so he'll get a second free throw attempt. Jacob Collicott, 11 points on the night in what's been, by his standards, a bad night, is pretty dang good for the Cougars. 15 points on the half for CUC, only 4 of those coming from the field.
Good pressure. Good pressure.
Crapia double
Great
team,
pressure.
has to do something, gets it to Terrell Taylor. That'll break the press. Pushing the advantage. Terrell Taylor gonna draw the block on Aaron Brown. And that'll send Terrell to the line.
You know, even though Terrell's going to the free throw line, that was a really good pressure on the inbound from the Cougars. Had to make them work to get across the half. And, that's the kind of things that you want to see from this team, from the rest of this half, the rest of this game. And they've done a great job with the intensity of the energy, as we've mentioned all night.
Dominican take their first timeout of the half. It is a full timeout. So as these two teams honestly just take what looks to be a break, we'll take a break here on the Cougar Sports Network as well. We'll be back in just a moment.
Fans interested in learning more about our university, head over to cuchicago.edu for all the information you need. Thanks for tuning in today's game, and we hope to see you soon.
Welcome back to Concordia University, Chicago. East side of River Forest, east down Division Street. Dominican leads 55-52. 12 minutes to go in the game. And it's Terrell Taylor at the free throw line for the Stars. Taylor will have 2 free throws to shoot.
Yeah, only 2 free throw attempts tonight. So hasn't gone to the line much.
First is up and in. I mean, Terrell Taylor, I was actually about to say, oh, he's had a bit of a quiet night. He makes this next shot, he's into double digits. First player on Dominican to be in double digits. Terrell Taylor, 10 on the night now. Jordan Lacey bringing it down court for the Cougs. Swings it to Lowry. Nice ball in to Jacob Collicott.
Great cut there. Able to beat his man in a wide open lane. Love that kind of basketball right there.
It's a beautiful cut, a beautiful sling. Pelzinski back to Crapia. Crapia just has to chunk. I don't know why. Adrian Pelzinski sent that back to Crapia. He had a lot of space. He could have taken that back past half court and just slowed down the possession. Instead, they force a long pass from Crapia.
Well, when you have that kind of defensive pressure, it kind of makes your mind just kind of spiral a little bit, and you kind of rush things, which is what we saw there. That was just fantastic.
Beckman, and the Cougars convert that turnover into 2 more points, and they're back to being down by 1.
First shot of the half for Sean Beckman. Love to see him get going once again like he did in the first.
Pelzinski gets it to Terrell Taylor. Terrell Taylor gonna try and sling that over to Crapia, and he does on a slow bounce. Bennett breaking through, going in, shot up, no good. Rebound, Taylor, and in. And there's no chance with Robbie Taylor having that kind of positioning in the paint.
Yeah, it just makes it a little difficult when you have that kind of size down there.
Collicott over to Lowry. Tallis Lowry, nice move, working into the mid-range. Fade away. No good, rattles in and out. And now Jordan Lacey will be tagged with a foul on the rebound. 6th of the half on the Cougars with 10.5 to go. So Dominican will likely get in the bonus soon as well. Lacey out of the game, Javen Reed back into it. Pelzinski working down the far side, sends it to Bennett. Bennett trying to keep possession. That's a steal for Tallis Lowry. And that's a steal for Terrell Taylor. Robbie Taylor going to work on Beckman. And Beckman wins that one, forces a bad shot, gets the rebound. Now Collicott, space, wanted, fakes the dunk, puts up the layup, and then draws the foul.
A lot happened there.
That took a minute to process because I was wondering, Collicott has space. He's known, he'll go for a dunk once in a while. Is he going to do it? And he puts the arm back. He fakes the dunk. And he got Robbie Taylor with that. Robbie Taylor sells out on the dunk. And Collicott just pulls back, sends it to an easy touch layup. And he gets the contact too because Robbie Taylor's trying to block a dunk. Only a 2-point play. Doesn't convert on the free throw, but the Cougars are back within 1.
The funny thing is I didn't even realize he got fouled. So
I mean, even making the shot was a nice play.
yeah, that was incredible.
Pelsinski, corner, almost loses it. May to Taylor, up. Robbie Taylor's shot no good, rebounded by Cameron Scott. Out to Terrell Taylor. Tries to get it to Scott. It's a bad pass. Collicott has it, working on Pelsinski, creates contact. That's off of Collicott's knee. And that'll go Dominican's way. Terrell Taylor gets it to May in space, into Robbie Taylor. Shot up, and Robbie Taylor playing for contact will get the foul.
I feel like that was one of those fouls that if he would have made it, I don't think they call that.
No, it was Javen Reed was almost straight up. The contact was on the elbow. I mean, and yeah, Robbie Taylor makes that shot. No one's going to be like, oh, through contact. And yeah, through contact, but we've seen tougher shots. Technically is a foul, but Robbie Taylor's first shot, no good. It's not exactly the kind of fouls we've seen called tonight.
Yeah, it's just that late whistle. Just a little confusing at times.
Robbie Taylor looking to salvage this trip to the line. And he will.
Still a one-possession hit game here for the Cougars, so very much so in this game.
Collicott working on Scott. Working into the paint. Trying to create space and just sends that out to Javen Reed. Carter Privet sends it to Beckman. Now Collicott, corner three. Well short, rebounded by Scott.
Good find there from Beck. Just Collicott just wasn't able to knock it down. But those are the kind of shots that you look for there. Wide open, not a lot of contests. Just gotta knock them down.
May puts it up and in. Stars lead by 4. Of note, Carter Privet in the game for CUC, a name you don't see out there often, the freshman out of Germantown, Wisconsin.
Yeah, coach trying to get some experience out here. It's a pretty big game, and it's not garbage time minutes either. So in the thick of it, pretty much, it's going to be interesting to see how the freshman performs.
And Coach Searles will call a timeout as his team still trails by 4. He'll get a chance to just try and get them back on track. They haven't really fallen behind that much, only by 2 points in this half, but with 8.5 minutes to go it's still not where you want to be.
Yeah, no, not at all. But the good thing is there's still a lot of time, still a lot of basketball to be played, and still an opportunity to go on a run here. The Cougars need to keep getting stops like they've been having, keep making defensive plays, keep putting the pressure, and just capitalize on the offensive end and just make the shots. They're getting good looks, just not hitting them. So gotta stay with it, and hopefully they'll turn around.
In the second half, Dominican shooting well from the field. The Cougars surviving on free throws. Lowry gets it to Beckman, tries to sling it to Collicott. It's knocked out of bounds by Underwood.
Yeah, it seems like Dominican was expecting that a little bit.
Lowry will inbound. Now just float that out to Collicott. And Collicott's going to go to work. Driving in, a roundabout layup, and he draws the foul, hard foul from Quante May. And the fact that you're even trying to put up a shot like that. I mean, May thought he avoided Collicott. He went up fully to the right, and Collicott plays the contact. Wraps arm fully around May and is able to draw the foul.
They're really seeing some pretty acrobatic moves here from Collicott.
I mean, that's his style. It's how he survives in the paint. He's not taller or bigger than really any guys you see out there. He's acrobatic. He's athletic.
Very athletic.
And he makes it work.
Very athletic, and it's something that he plays to his strength, so good on him.
Collicott 2 for 2 on that trip. Cougars back within 2. And Jacob Collicott, after having only 2 points in the first half, is up to 18 on the game. And Collicott slaps that out of bounds, so that takes a second off the clock for Dominican. They only have 9 to get it past half court.
The young man has been everywhere tonight. Offense, defense, doesn't matter. He's been making plays all night.
And then Nenig will break the press. Underwood driving, contact, no foul. Rebounded by Brown. Underwood still down. Collicott gets it to Brown. Brown working in the paint, no good. And now the whistle will be blown for Lucas Underwood, who's still down on the Stars' end of the court. Underwood, one of the smaller guys out on the court, took a big hit from Beckman on that drive.
It kind of looked like he kind of went up into him. So I'm not sure if the refs really are going to call fouls like that, where you see somebody going up trying to get contact. Wasn't really natural, but hope he's okay.
Cameron Scott just did a pull-up and pulled his head up through the rim. But yeah, Lucas Underwood, it's not a foul. You'll see checking him out quickly there for a head injury. Looks like he's holding his right ear. So I believe it is Dominican ball. I think that ball was out of bounds on the Cougars. And yeah, it'll be Quante May to inbound. May gets it to Terrell Taylor. Terrell working it down midcourt. Gets it to Cameron Scott. Into the corner to Quante May for three. No good. Robbie Taylor loses that battle to Jacob Collicott. Collicott pushing the pace. Gets it to Beckman, and Beckman can't receive cleanly.
Might have been a little bit of a late pass there. Not sure. Came in a little hot. Beckman wasn't able to handle it, but missed opportunity there for the Cougars for sure.
I mean, honestly, it's a notable flaw you've seen tonight. The Cougars' passing has not been super clean. Terrell Taylor pushing the pace, throwing it up, no good. Rebound, Cameron Scott beats out A.J. Willard. Slung into Terrell Taylor. Aaron Brown is there, and Taylor's there to knock it out of bounds and slow this pace down.
Almost looked like Aaron Brown kind of baited him into throwing that pass a little bit.
I mean, he was waiting. He was waiting, lurking off of the side, probably disguise the coverage, jump the route.
That was an impressive play there.
Collicott gets it to Beckman. Beckman driving baseline out to Lowry. Now Lowry will move in. Oh, a nice move from Talis Lowry. Can't get the shot. Rebounded by Scott.
That was such a pretty step through. Just got to finish that. Just have to finish that.
Scott driving in and just lays that in the reach to reach around and get that up to the rim. Stars back up by 4. Collicott pushing the pace again. Over to Willard. Wide pass, so the Cougars will have to reset the possession. Willard able to save it, though. Dallas Lowry driving baseline to Willard. Willard throws it up and in. A.J. Willard as he falls. Terrell Taylor now working on Willard. Spinning, fade away, and in. Nothing but net.
Tough shot there, tough shot. Was able to just get it up, arcing nice. Good finish.
A.J. Willard looking to respond, and a poor pass. Terrell Taylor takes it easily. Sends it to Nenig, just a short jumper, and it's missed, and the Cougars almost missed the rebound. Shot you can't miss from Daniel Nenig. Now Collicott to Willard. Willard under! And Cameron Scott. Hard rejection again! Cameron Scott is hosting a block party. And Sean Beckman on the third chance gets it to go.
How about the block shotting tonight?
Oh, Lord, Cameron Scott. Just emphatic on that defense, not getting any help on the rebounds from his teammates. As Terrell Taylor straight away and in.
Can't leave him open. Got to go over on that screen. Got to stay on top of that. Cannot go under on a great shooter like Taylor Terrell. That is
especially
unforgivable.
not that deep. Especially not that deep.
No, not at all.
5-point lead for the Stars, 69-64, 5:42 to go in the game, and it has been a heck of a second half from these two squads. Dominican, they have shot very, very well. 43% from three, 43% from the field in the second half. The Cougars, they've struggled from the field relative to Dominican and relative to their standard. 20% from three, 28% from the field. 13 for 15 from the free throw line. That's what has kept them in it. CUC trailing by 5. Jacob Collicott has come alive in this half.
He has come alive, which is good to see. And, you know, something that has been a very positive for the Cougars. But I still kind of want to see the Cougars involve more of the offensive options. Some of these possessions, only one guy has been touching the ball. And, you know, when they were most successful at the beginning of the game, they were having that ball movement. They were swinging the ball around. Multiple guys were touching the basketball. And when that happens, you keep defenders guessing. You get them off their feet. Now they have to switch left, right. And you get them also a little bit tired. And, you know, you kind of able to expose them a little bit. So hopefully the Cougars are able to just move the ball a little bit more, get guys open, just keep swinging, keep feeding.
And something that's notable for me, Aaron Brown, 3 for 4 from the field in the first half, incredibly efficient. Now 0 for 3 in the second half, only 2 points coming off of the free throws. And again, that just kind of shows what you were kind of like, you kind of seen out in the court. Dominicans winning the paint right now.
Oh, yeah.
They have the taller men, they have the bigger bodies. And the Cougars, Aaron Brown, really, they're one of their best players in that paint. It's him and Sean Beckman who can play in the paint, size-wise. And they've, especially Brown, have struggled in this second half.
Yeah, just kind of want to see just him just find just a little bit more consistency, obviously. But, you know, still a lot of time here. It's not, nobody's out of it. Nobody's out of it.
Collicott taking that down, slinging it to Lacey. Now Lacey trying to go back to Collicott. May interrupts that. Collicott back to the three-point line, puts it up. No good. No foul on the rebound. Brown driving in, throwing it up. No good. And Cameron Scott pickpocketed by Jacob Collicott. Smart play from Scott to just pull the hands back and let it go out of bounds as soon as he felt Collicott on his backside. But
that was really good hands there for Collicott. That was probably an easy layup for Cameron Scott. He was able to poke it back, and now, you know, now Dominican has to earn these next points.
It was good positioning, too. Instead of trying to stay with Scott and contest, go for a block, slide in behind and just tap it out. Now Taylor, just a nice stop and jump shot to put Dominican up 7, their largest lead of the night.
That was a good crossover, able to create some space, get his man off of him. That was a pretty move.
Lacey gets it to Pryor. Pryor, baseline, puts it up and under and in. That's how you got to beat Cameron Scott. And now Scott gets it back over to Terrell Taylor. Terrell looking for Quante May. Now to Underwood for 3. No good, airballed long. And Robbie Taylor touches down out of bounds, so that'll be a Cougar possession.
The Cougars got real fortunate there. Really fortunate there. That was a wide open look.
You can't really miss those threes. Lucas Underwood now 1 for 4 on the night. He's going to be kicking himself for that one. Like you said, can't get a much better shot than that. Tallis Lowry running point. Working on Terrell Taylor. Bringing it central, driving in, slinging to Willard for 3. No good, rebounded by Pelsinski.
Just got a little flat there with the shot.
Quante May driving in, kicks it out to Taylor. Taylor thought about the corner 3, now he'll drive in, throw it up, rebounded by Beckman.
Good recovery there from the Cougars defensively.
Lowry now just stops and jumps and floats it in. Cougars back within 3. That's how you respond. You go down 7, biggest deficit of the night, and you respond by starting to claw it back. Now Underwood driving in. Alley-oop, no good! Quante May can't finish it.
Wow. Was not expecting that.
I mean, just guts to attempt that. Now Collicott working on Underwood. Underwood steals that between Collicott's legs. Back to Taylor. Taylor layup and in, and that ends the Cougars' 4-point run.
Slow down here, slow down.
Under almost 3 minutes to go. Cameron Scott knocks that out of bounds.
Yeah, this final few minutes of this game is going to just come down to who can get stops and who can capitalize on shots. Because both of these teams are not going away. Really, really fighting. So whoever's just going to be more efficient at the end of the day.
As these two teams take a break down on the court, we'll take a short break here at the Cougar Sports Network. We'll be back in just a moment for the final exciting minutes of this matchup.
Hey Cougar fans, we hope you're enjoying today's CUC men's basketball broadcast. If you're interested in donating to our Athletic Communications Department to help improve the live stream you're watching, click the thank you button. We appreciate your support on and off the court and hope to see you really soon on campus. Thank you.
Welcome back to Concordia, Chicago, here on the east side of River Forest. Small village, but you know, you say Dominican owns the west side. The Cougars own the east side. And CUC trails by 5. It's Dominican owning the matchup right now, 73-68. Something of note for the Cougars. Just over 3 minutes left, and he hasn't sat a minute. You have to imagine Jacob Collicott's not going to sit the rest of this game.
Oh, they need him. They need him out there. You know, he's been their fire this half, so got to have your best player out there.
Tallis Lowry crossing his way in, put back from Aaron Brown, no good. Quante May with the rebound. He'll get it to Underwood, and that'll break the press. Underwood spinning around out to Taylor, thought about 3. Slings it to the corner to Pelzinski. Pelzinski thought about 3. Now he'll try to sling it back to Taylor. Collicott almost steals it. Now Taylor driving in. Underwood 3. That one's short. Brown with the rebound. And that's going to be a foul on Terrell Taylor. Taylor's first foul of the night. That'll send Brown to the free throw line. Double bonus for the Cougs. We'll give Brown 2 shots.
I don't know how to exactly feel about that pass. I feel like you don't really necessarily have to throw that. I know the Cougars are trying to get some fast break points, but you know you have the possession. You have a lot of time. You don't have to, you know, go fly every single time down the court. You slow down. You know, you still have a lot of time in this game.
It's a risky pass. I mean, if that foul doesn't get called, that foul won't always get called. That's probably a turnover.
Oh,
Works
most
out
definitely.
for the Cougars, though. Brown hits both free throws. They're back within 3. Underwood almost fumbles the inbound. And he'll draw a foul on A.J. Willard. That would be Willard's 4th. And now, with the Stars in bonus, that'll send Underwood to the line to shoot 1 and 1.
Something I kind of want to touch on is the bench points that Dominican has, just the production they've been getting from their bench. Outscoring the Cougars this half by 12, 22-10. Something that has been huge for Dominican, just be able to get guys who rotate in and just able to come in and produce.
Yeah, it's that depth. I mean, it's big names off that bench. Terrell Taylor at 19 points on the night. Underwood's second shot, no good. And Dominican will take a rebound. Terrell Taylor off the bench. Cameron Scott off the bench. Those are big names. And the Cougars, you know, it's a known fact. The Cougars struggle with scoring depth. They don't have a lot of options that are coming off the bench and putting up a lot of points in a game. A.J. Willard at 8 points and Aaron Brown at 10 today have been good, but not as effective as Terrell Taylor.
Yeah, it just kind of also hurts, you know, when
Collicott with space, layup, no good. That's out of bounds off of Dominican.
also just kind of hurts as well, as I was going to mention, is just not having Joel Watts still.
That's something we actually haven't mentioned tonight, and it's a big factor, especially when it comes to Cougars' perimeter game. He's one of their best three-point shooters. He brings a lot of energy to this team that they've been missing at points tonight.
Oh, most definitely.
Collicott, fade away, no good, short, completely missing. That's a poor pass. Lowry picks off, out to Brown, over to Pryor, steps back. Thought about going back in, gets it to Lowry. Pryor again, thought about 3, and he's tagged. With a travel, a wasted free possession for the Cougars.
That's unfortunate, man. Oh, man.
As they lead by 4, Dominican inbounds to Taylor. Nice spin to create space. Lasers it to Pilzinski. Back to Terrell Taylor. Taylor driving, still driving, gets it to Scott, who slams it down.
Great there from Terrell Taylor. Good find. Was able to get the pressure and on Cameron Scott.
Aaron Brown responds with a nice layup. Cougs back within 4. Taylor to Pelzinski to Nenig. Nenig working perimeter, working on Brown. Nice jump from Willard to slap that away, but now Nenig with space. Over to Pelzinski, corner 3, and in! Coach Sherrill's going to call a timeout. His team back down by 7.
Just not able to close out there. Wide open man. Probably what the pressure probably hurts when you're playing so many guys up top. You just kind of have guys who you kind of forget about leaving them in the corner. And, you know, it works when they don't make it, but this time they did. Comes back to bite the Cougars.
And I'll say, Dominican could be more aggressive from that corner tonight. We've seen them kind of take some double takes. Pelzinski himself taking some double takes from that corner, thinking about it and choosing to do otherwise. And the Cougars are lucky that the Stars haven't been shooting as well as they would like to from 3. It's kept them within reach.
Yeah, exactly. But, you know, when you were having Terrell Taylor and Cameron Scott, you know, they're having a really good game tonight. You're putting a lot of defensive focus on those guys. It's going to open up the rest of the players on that court, especially when Dominican can space the floor like that, have guys who can shoot the basketball at all areas. It makes it tough when guys are starting to click, and unfortunately it seems like they have clicked at the end of this game.
And something we talked about coming into this game, off that CU Dub game, a pattern we've seen this season, the Cougars dropping off in performance in the second half. Those shooting splits took a major dip against CU Dub, and they've taken another dip again tonight against Dominican. Field goal percentage dropping from 40% down to 28. Three-point percentage dropping from 33% down to 14. Free throw percentage technically dropped, but it's only 2 missed free throws. That doesn't matter. It's those other dips in the shooting splits that have been impactful for the Cougars. That's a loose ball. Collicott's there. He thought about 3. Now he'll work his way in. Tries to get it to Brown, but it's going to draw a foul on Callum Scott.
They just have to be efficient with everything that you do in this last minute. Really no room for error anymore.
I mean, you've been great from the free throw line all night. Now you need to be perfect from the free throw line, down 7 with 56 seconds left.
Well, wouldn't want anybody else but Jacob Collicott the line.
First shot's up and in. Carson Knoll out of the game. Back in is A.J. Willard. Collicott up and in again. Cougars down 5. Brown out of the game for Jordan Lacey.
Wonder how the Cougars will play this.
Crapia to Pelzinski. Nenig working. Looking for somewhere to go. Gets it to Crapia with space. Now Taylor with space. In. Layup. No good. Scott. Rebound fouled by Lowry. And Tallis Lowry, his second foul. Tallis Lowry's 3rd foul.
Yeah, just outsized, outmatched there. And just nobody to really contest Cameron Scott on the rebound. The Cougars going with a small lineup here at the end of this game. So it'll make it a little tough here on the boards.
And now you see that size coming back into the game with Aaron Brown. Scott can hit this next shot. It's back up to a 7-point game, and it is. Cougars have to work with pace now. Lowry to Collicott. He's pushing the pace. He's working down court. He's trying to work his way in, and it's almost stripped, and it is stripped. Scott to Taylor. Taylor to Pelzinski. Pelzinski slows it down. Over to Scott. And Scott will be fouled. We're under 30 seconds, and it's that time of night. And the Cougars have found themselves in all too often this season.
Yeah, just unfortunate. It's unfortunate. In it for most of this game, leading for majority of that first half.
Yeah.
And it's kind of just sad to see it just slip away here at the end.
Scott's second free throw, no good, but it's tipped straight back out to Scott. And the Stars slowing it down. The Cougars let this game ride out. As you see those Cougar fans leave. Thought in the head, it's the same old Cougs. The Cougars will close out January with another loss. Only winning 2, their conference playoff hopes dropping drastically in the month of January.
Yeah, Cougs just seemed just a little out of it at the end. I don't know if it was a little bit of fatigued and whatnot, but very just sporadic offensively. Just we're not really able to get comfortable, it looked like, at all. And, Dominican woke up second half, started hitting more shots, especially from the three-point line. And they were just able to get a lot of second chance points, as we were mentioning. And Cameron Scott, Taylor Terrell, once again, came up huge for these guys. And it opened up a lot of opportunities for that Dominican offense in the second half. Who just have to rebound here. And, still a lot of games left to play. It's not over, but if they're going to get going, they have to get going immediately.
That hole continues to be dug by the Cougars. Spared of drops of Jupiter tonight, but an 8-point loss. The CUC has to be perfect. That hole has been dug, but this team, the most notable thing about this, this rough stretch is that it hasn't been horrible. They've played competitively in pretty much every single game they've played, including the game against Wisconsin Lutheran, one of the top 10 teams in the country. They've been competitive. They just haven't been able to get the job done. So if this team can get hot, they have a chance at clawing their way back into the postseason. But and there you hear now, drops of Jupiter comes over. But quick little look at the stats tonight. Jacob Collicott salvages his stat line. 2 points in the first half, converts that into a 20-point game. 8 rebounds. Aaron Brown, 12 points, 9 rebounds for the Cougars. Collicott led both teams with 20 points, but Terrell Taylor off the bench, 19 points for Dominican. Cameron Scott closed that game out and ended up putting up 13. Sean Beckman for the Cougars, 15 points, 11 rebounds, a double-double for the big man as he put up his best fight tonight for CUC. The leader in rebounds was Cameron Scott with 12. He also had a double-double tonight. But that'll do it from here. Dominican now on a 4-game win streak. Started conference play 0-7. And full credit to Dominican tonight. They played fantastic. 0-7 to start conference season. They are now 4-7 in conference. A conference season that looks to be a wash has now turned back into one that's meaningful. You're playing meaningful games in February. You're competitive. And Dominican's looking to fight their way into the postseason. It's a tough matchup this Saturday for the Stars, taking on St. Norbert at home. The Cougars, they'll try and get their season back on track this Saturday at home against Marian University. That'll be a doubleheader of Cougar basketball action. Both the women's and men's teams taking on Marian's women's and men's team this Saturday here at Concordia, Chicago. The Cougars, they dropped to 5-4-8 in conference. And for the month of January, as that month comes to a close, the Cougars 2-7 for the month of January. 2 conference wins, 5 conference losses. Got to get their season back on track this Saturday. They'll have a chance, but that'll do it here at Geisman Gymnasium tonight. Cougs fall to the Stars. Cougs fall to the Stars 82-74. As we close out tonight's broadcast, a massive thank you to everyone Working tonight's game, Dave Dimling, our spotter, working the scoreboard, Tyler Dorsch, Emily Lucero, Eric Perry, and Luciana Moran working the cameras. Ashley Schroll and Sydney Lloyd working as our producers tonight. Our assistant sports information director, Corey Welch, our sports information director, Kayla McLeod. I'm Jonathan Shear. On air with me tonight was Alan Mateo. Thank you for joining us. Make sure to join us again this Saturday for more Cougar basketball here on the Cougar Sports Network. But as always, roll Cougs.
So much for tuning in to today's Concordia University Chicago Cougars Athletics broadcast. We hope to see you on campus very soon. If you would like to learn more about what Concordia Chicago has to offer, go to cuchicago.edu.